Hello, today we'll be talking about why electrocardiography, or ECG, is a better measurement for heart rate than photoplethysmography, or PPG. While both ECG and PPG are used to measure heart rate, the method in which they accomplish this differs. PPG will measure heart rate by calculating the light absorption levels in the blood flowing through our arteries and veins. In contrast, ECG measures our heart rate through calculating the electric activity in the cardiac muscle tissue. Let's take a closer look at how PPG functions. PPG uses both LED lights and a photodiode to measure one's heart rate. First, red and infrared LED lights are aimed towards the skin. These lights will then pierce through the skin until it reaches the blood in our arteries and veins. Once it's done that, the lights will bounce off the blood in our arteries and veins and into the photodiode. The photodiode will then measure the differences in light waves and translate it into a heartbeat. This process continues with every pump of fresh blood in our system, which causes the arteries and veins to swell with pressure, allowing for a new heartbeat to be measured. However, PPG comes with its downsides that affect an accurate measurement of heart rate. PPG's reliance on light waves means that heart rate measurements are inaccurate when there is any movement in the body that jars the light waves going back and forth between the LED lights, our blood, and the photodiode. In other words, it's extremely susceptible to motion artifact. Along with this, because it takes time for the blood pumped from our heart to circulate the entire body, there is a slight lag in the measurements of PPG, since it measures the blood in our body and not the heart directly. PPG's biggest fault can be pinpointed as motion artifact. Even the slightest movement of the body, or the PPG device, will lead to a radically different heart rate measurement. Therefore, PPG's measurements are only sound when the patient is completely still. Now let's look into the electrocardiography method. Electrocardiography is a measurement of heart rate that calculates the electric activity in the cardiovascular muscle tissue. The contraction and relaxation of the muscle tissue surrounding the heart is what pumps blood throughout the entire body, making it an excellent and more accurate source for measuring heart rates. Let's take a closer look into the significance of ECG. Each heartbeat we produce is the product of the electrical signals within our heart. These signals and how they communicate with one another account for the contraction and relaxation of the atrium and ventricles. The constant contraction and relaxation of the heart via electrical signals is what allows for blood circulation that affects every part of our body at all times. ECG measurements document the contraction and relaxation of cardiac muscles in extreme detail and precision by translating them into ECG waves depicted in the bottom picture. These ECG waves allow for an in-depth look at an individual's heart rate that cannot be found in PPG. To sum it all up, ECG offers a much more accurate heart rate measurement because it measures the direct source of our heartbeat instead of relying on light waves. In addition to this, ECG measurements contain no time lag and are free from the inaccuracy of motion artifact when the ECG device is perfectly adhered to the skin. To elaborate on that, ECG devices are in no means free from the inaccuracy of motion artifact, even though it's not to the degree of PPG devices. However, if the ECG device is perfectly adhered to an individual's skin, it can measure an individual's heart rate in detail without having to suffer the consequences of motion artifact at all. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment what you want to see next down below.